All right. Hi, everybody. It's a couple of minutes before 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock Eastern or 8 o'clock Central or 6 p.m. Guess what? Pacific time. I just want to say hi, hello, and everything else. Tonight's a little unusual. We're here at a live event. We got everyone together from our previous courses with all our family and all the things we've done and the things we worked for. And we diligently worked in the last 12 months to go ahead and make things happen. Also, we have a new group of people that I learned from the first group how many to have and not so many at this time. Also, another thing is to let you know is that tonight would be a little different. I'm not going to have a PowerPoint, but I'm going to give you information that you're going to want to write down. And also just to kind of go ahead to see also what we've done, where we're going, and also what we're doing with the other projects as well. But these are the people, a group of people who have been with us for the last year with corporatecreditblueprints.com. corporatecreditblueprints.com. So I know we're a few minutes early, and actually about a minute early, so that's fine. So don't worry about that. But tonight, again, we're not going to have any PowerPoints. We're just going to have like what we have now is that we have a lot of people that now are part of the Corporate Credit Blueprint family. Also, another thing, you hear noise in the background because this is some of the stuff where we've been, what we've been doing, and also all the cars and stuff we have here, and the people that have been working with us and dealing with us. And we have a lot of things behind us here. So I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do to go ahead and bring it live to you here. But also just want to let you know is that one thing we've been doing here is just having a lot of fun. People walking around here, as you can see people behind me back over here in the group. This is a lot of things we bbeen doing. And now we gathered together today in observance, not only for Memorial Day, but also we're planning the next 12 months. The next 12 months where we're going to be going from all kinds of areas. Because when you have corporate credit, you can do many things in life and plan with other people because other people usually are aligned with when you have like-minded people and stuff. So this is one thing you want to begin to understand is one of the most beautiful things that you can really have in life is when you have a group of people that are like-minded. Like-minded meaning they're building their business credit, they're following through, they build their business credit, or they're not doing filing it. Some people say, I'm having a problem, can you go ahead and assist me with it? That's not a problem. Even if you're not involved in the program, we'll do some things for you as well. Whether you're a person that is part of the organization, or when you're even an affiliate, or you belong in the millionaire trade or the power trade lines. Also, another thing, if you're just belonging in a regular program is pretty much self-paced. You're going to do it pretty much on, when I say pretty much, I mean you're really going to do it, I say almost on your own by following directions. Some cases when you get your Dun & Bradstreet number, then we'll begin to guide you what else you need to do. Some of you have received your Dun & Bradstreet guide number. And one of the things there is that you can call us and we'll set a time or we'll go ahead and assist you in applying for some things so you can get it going. A lot of you worked hard to get that score. I wouldn't waste it because now one thing about the vendor credit that we talked about earlier last week and the weeks before is that what you're looking for is you're looking for the score so you can get your business credit cards. Yeah, I don't care if it's all gas cards or all, Staples, Office Max, all those little things that you need to go ahead and keep your scores going. Because let me ask you, it's better to go ahead and use gas and some other stuff you can use than all those, like you said, your Crown Office Supply. Nothing wrong with them. They help you build your business score. But the thing is, after a while, there's only kind of so much paper you can buy to go ahead and get a score. You have enough paper to last you about a year or so, okay? Depending what you're going to be doing. So tonight's going to be a little different. We're going to be live, so we're going to have some things. You're going to hear stuff in the background. We're at a nice place over here. And one thing I want to let you know is that one of the most beautiful things that we do have here is people are going and doing things, we're having a good time. We're also having little games going on with the family. So there's many things going on over here. So we just want to make you aware is that when you belong to an organization that actually has the same thing in mind as you. You leaving? Oh, all right. All right, they're not leaving, so There's one thing I just want to let you guys know. This is really exciting stuff. It's just not no overnight stuff. This is something that you're really looking to play with. And on top of that, we have some new people in the organization now that we've even invited and asked regarding about, investing in particular business, and also in some of the real estate. Also, they're doing well in some other areas in life. So we're going to we're moving forward is what we're saying, because this is the time now to really invest because the next storm is coming. Now, that is a good thing. That is a good thing to say. The next storm is coming. And why do I say that? The next storm is coming because it has to come. That's how it goes. If, like, for instance, it doesn't really matter, like GM or Ford has been around for over 100 years, right? So put it this way. Let me ask you, if they've been around for 100 years, don't you think they've gone through their stuff? Don't you think they've gone through the trials and tribulations through their own business? But they weathered the storm because they knew how to handle their finances. Even when you don't have the money coming in, there's a way to have money coming in. I know that sounds like a what? There is. You just got to know how to leverage your money. And one thing about that is corporate credit safety and your safety credit. A lot of people don't understand the terminology about, that's the sun. I'm sorry about that. The sun in your eyes. But a lot of people don't understand the power of having business credit, and the power of having your personal credit restored so you can go ahead and do many things. For instance, right now, let me just give you a little idea. We're not here to be your attorney or a financial advisor. We're not here to go ahead and be your tax consultant. We're not here to go ahead and give you anything other than being a consultant to you. We show you what we're doing. We'll go over what we're doing, what works, and what has been working is still working, okay? So one thing we just want to make you really aware of is that when you're building your business credit, it's not about just building your business credit with us, because anyone can build business credit, but what about what's behind it? What are you going to do when you have $1 million worth of business credit, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million? Because there's something on the table for some people out there that if they invest in these particular businesses, that we're going to take those businesses public, and we can start out where everything is. One thing I want to make you aware of is that the most beautiful thing about having business credit, tax ID. Remember, debt follows tax ID. Borrowed money is not taxable. Borrowed money is not taxable. Some of you are even eligible still for the PPP, right? There's nothing wrong with getting that and getting yourself on a salary and start doing something. Hire someone. Hire some people to do some of your due diligence that you can't do. That, in other words, when I say you can't do, is that it takes your time. And that time you're doing your due diligence, some things in some areas for a business, what you're looking for to do and have it grow. The thing is that now you're like 3 or 4 hours in the day taken away from you that you could be doing something else, producing, when you have someone else doing that for you. See, that's one thing when you begin to have business credit, corporate credit, credit lines, cash lines, vendor credit, trade credit, all that stuff, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, gas cards, whatever it is, you can pick. How about $85,000? Someone's in the Sun Belt, $85,000 in Sun Belt. What's that all about? Why $85,000? What the heck you can do with $85,000 at Sun Belt? Well, what if I told you if you had a way to use that, you could use it to go ahead and create a business, because they have all the machinery you need. So these are one of the things you want to begin to realize, is that what we're looking for and what we're working at is that we're looking for you to grow. Anyone that comes to us will grow. If you're already in business already and you want some other ideas, call us. Run your ideas, by us, and we'll give you our thoughts and opinions, And that's the only thing. A lot of you have great businesses out there, but you have not the line of defense. The line of defense is one of the most important parts in any business. I don't care where you're at. Everybody knows Bezos called out Amazon and said that the Amazon eventually is going to go bankrupt. Why would he make such a bold statement? Why would someone that created something from the bottom up, from nothing, just like all of you, you start from a ground, just a bottom line. And the thing is that what you have done is that a lot of you is that you how do you put it? You become, and I've done this before. This is the reason I can say this. You become short-sighted because now you're trying to go ahead and hold on to the egg in the basket when you have more than one baskets to choose from to create several eggs so things are fine. So one thing I want to make everybody aware, it doesn't matter where you come from, where you've been, what you've been doing. It just now has you be really, really sharp and sharpen your tool so you can go ahead and create. Now, let's say you want to enhance your business. If you've gotten comfortable, are you wondering why you haven't gone past the other digits, why you haven't succumbed and haven't made a movement past what you're looking for? It's probably because you gotten comfortable. You become scarce. You become, okay, great, a money pincher. You don't pay you start paying your bills like 2 days just before. You get really, really crampy and grumpy when someone calls to pay a bill. But you have the money, but you're trying to hold on to it. For what reason? If you don't trust yourself to create more money in your business, or you don't trust the one that giving you the money to go ahead and create the business, then you are going to have challenges when you come up. Challenges coming up and everything else like that. So one thing I want to make you aware of is that, hold on, folks, we got someone here. It's over by here. You go inside, it's all charged up. You can see it right by underneath the TV there. So one thing we want to let you know is that we're going to go ahead and do a little walk now so we can go ahead and see where the phone is, because most people don't know what we did. See, we have many things going on here, and it's right there. So this is the whole power of having a family. Like, you get to see live stuff. This is not like some junky little thing that people don't make up. This is not something that has any problems or things like that. But most of all, I want to let you know is that we have a lot of people that are leaving and beginning this. It's about 7 o'clock our time, 7:10. So one thing you want to begin to remember is when you're building your business credit, you're building the future. You're building the future in the moment, because that's what's going to get you. I don't care what you make, how much you make, eventually that will stop being made. Then you're going to have credit to carry you through to the next venture. And then when it does, you will make the money that you spent already to go ahead and take care of that, pay it off, and you'll have more. See, this is what people don't realize. Having the credit is to go ahead and advance yourself. Let me ask you, what would some of you do with even $300,000 in your business right now? Right now, what would that do for you if you had $300,000 in business? How about 100,000? How about 75, 150, 400,000, $500,000, $1 million? See, we can throw all these numbers out there, but what is it that you really is going to move you to go ahead and have what you're looking for? Some of you also want to go ahead and get started in a business, but you're willing to go ahead and take the shortcut. Just let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with taking a shortcut as long as you're willing to do what it takes, which means this. You realize, you know what, I'm at this level, but I need to be at this level. What are you willing to do it? What are you willing to do to make sure it happens? What is one thing that's so painful that if you don't achieve it, what would that mean to you? What would happen if you said, you know, if I don't really have this kind of money available to me, I know it's going to take me years, and that's going to be painful. But if I had this kind of money and then buy this business, could I buy this business to do what I need to do? Or could I go ahead and have my business be one of the greatest businesses like Amazon, Walmart, Costco, Apple, Yahoo, Google? How about some small mom and pops, which means they're making about anywhere between 200 to 300 million a year. All right. Producing whatever they're producing, the widget. How about this? Do you remember Malaysia Airlines? Do any of you remember Malaysia Airlines? What happened to it? Go look what happened to their stock then. Go see where it went and go see where the stock is now today. Then you're going to find out something pretty interesting. How'd that happen? How'd it get turned around? See, there's things called turnarounds. Wouldn't you like to be part of that turnaround? And what would you invest to go ahead and be part of that turnaround? See, there's many things you can go ahead and do in life once you know the way there is to go. See, one thing we do in life is that we always wish, hope, and dream. Wishes, hope, and dreams are fine, but wishing doesn't require action. Hoping now depends what kind of hoping you're hoping at. There's certain hopings that require action. It's a it's verb, it's action oriented. And there's other hope where you just sit down and hope and drink a beer. I hope this works out. That's not a kind of hope that a lot of you are really looking for, but yet you're producing that kind of hope. Some of you are comfortable because you have money coming in on a monthly basis. So it's not an emergency for you. You can go, well, I'll get there. A lot of you are then finding when you say, I should have built that up because I would have had it by now. Some of you wasted 2 or 3 months already where you could have had the cards, had 8 cards, 10 cards already, and getting ready to build to the next level of the room. To go ahead and to build yourself to the next level for your room, whatever you're going to get into. So one thing about this live event that really excites me and other people here is that it's all family oriented. They don't have wishes and dreams anymore. They have dreams that are working to be into reality. They're not hoping and waiting for the next credit thing, because now, see, they've encircled themselves around a family. Their originating circle now consists of people that actually have business credit, and they have learned from corporate credit blueprints how to mingle among themselves, and we get together how to go ahead and enhance your credit. For instance, let's say that you have $1 million. How would you like to leave a weekend having $1.5 million and you never had to apply for any credit whatsoever? Quickly, overnight, which means with the time you left in 3 days, it's reporting on your business experience, your SPFE, your Dun& Brad, maybe Equifax. And also, have you ever studied, and this is what we do here, we unroll, we break apart, we dig down, we peel back the onion, we drill down even further. What's the best way for receiving approvals on a line of credit? Not a vendor credit, not a credit card, but lines of credit. Who's the best one they use out there? Who is it that they use? What credit company do they go to? What business credit company do they go to for certain things? What about for leases? What about for cash credit? Also, see, Dun & Brad's fine, but that's good usually just for your vendor credit. A lot of you think it's good for your leases, but let me tell you, when they go to your Dun & Brad to look for your credit, is because your SPFE is not powerful enough. Your SPFE is for your leases, all right? Your business experience is for your lines of credit. A lot of you have been told, now, when I say this, excuse me, when a lot of you have heard is out there is that, you got to have bank statements to go ahead and get a certain lines of credit. That is not accurate. I can tell you for a fact here, anything under $50,000, all you need to do is to use your tax ID, have the score, having that dollar amount being reported to your business experience, and you'll get that line of credit. Now, there's an exception to the rules. Some of you might be able to go ahead and get those different lines in 3 different ways without tax ID, and depending on your depth of your business credit, depth of your trade lines that have been reporting on your certain credit lines, on your business credit reports. Also, another thing, is your website current? Is your phone number up to date? Can anyone call anywhere in part of the United States? Can they call from Maine and ask, hey, I'm trying to get Joe Hofendorfer Inc. out of Wyoming. And now they look it up and they say they can't find it. But why not? You look up online, you see the website, but you don't see it. They're not listed. See, all these things are going to come together. And one thing you got to begin to learn, this business building system is really, really articulate on how you do it and what you get done. What you miss will cost you. See, everyone thinks, I don't need this kind of number. I'm going to tell you, an 800 number I don't care if it's forwarded to your cell phone, the 800 number gives you credibility. I know some of you don't have offices. Working from home is also one of the challenges to get credit. Now, I know a lot of people, in fact, there's several people here with us, they're working out of their homes and they're making $1 million a year plus, all right? Also, another thing, they have over $2 million worth of credit. And there's some things where they got hemmed up a little bit because like a Walmart doesn't really like you to have a home address. And it's how you report it, what you say, and how you do it. And then then one thing you want to have is a mailing address. So you can have a virtual office as a brick and mortar address, which is perfectly fine. But your mailing address should be a mailing address that is not connected to the United States Post Office Service. It should be either connected to where you once worked out of your apartment, out of your home, or you have a P.O. box from a mom and pop place as well. I highly suggest having a mailing address. And I don't really get into the explanation of that because that is a little more for the people that actually join into the deeper groups. Those of you who start off with our real small beginning course, it's, put it this way, we can't go in a lot with you. We have to go into you to build up everything else. Because when you sign up for the bigger programs, like the power trade lines, the millionaire trading, is that this. One of those things is that now we hold you accountable for what you say you are, for what you do, where you're going. We hold your hand, but your instructions are as follows. You do A, you do B, you do C. And we need it by this day, this time, whatever time zone you're on. If you're on the East Coast, Central, Mountain, or Pacific time, or back in the like in the Europe time, we ask you to have those things complete. If you don't have them complete, here's usually what happens. The coaches will ask you what's missing. Great, go complete these and we'll go ahead and continue next week. We cannot move forward because we give you assignments that actually make a difference inside of what we're doing. If you don't complete them, we can't follow what we need to do because the stuff that you complete, once you give them to us, we go verify they're completed. That's right. And if they're not, we let you know, okay, this is missing, that's missing, and we'll change it for you because you did the assignment. We'll just let you know what was missed. Also, listing yourself. It's important how you list yourself. For those of you who do the non-incorporated way, it's going to be very imperative that within 6 months, you must get out of that and turn it into a C Corp, not an LLC. I'm going to say that straight up, right now in downtown time is this. Guess what? If you're going to do unincorporated, there's no room for the LLC after that. There's only room for a C Corp. Whatever state you live in, it's going to cost you whatever it's going to cost you. If you're in Texas, it's going to cost you $300 for life. Now you're going to pay a yearly fee if you update people. Now, other states are going to be different. California is going to cost you, I think, $125 or $175. The reason why I say that what's going to cost you a certain amount is because we really don't do them. When we do them for people, it comes in a whole package and everything else when they buy the package. And on top of that, we don't, it's like, for us, that's wasting time. We'll give you a place to go get them done. Let's charge, now, LegalZoom, I'm going to tell you from experience, they're the worst. They're the most horrific, horrifying company that gives you this mumbo jumbo. I'm going to tell you, here's an actual fact. Here's one of them. There is a company that we were looking to go ahead and incorporate. It was National First and Associates. They said, well, there's too many companies with a similarity. Okay, we can't record it. It won't record. And I have that saved too. They say it wouldn't record. So, and we waited. Let's see, we waited first month, second month, finally the third month. It's okay, great. We waited 90 days. We gave them 90 days. And there's a reason why we did that too. But anyways, everything we do is for a purpose, to always show the students, here's what happens in 90 days, you can do this. Here's what happens after 30 days, and so on and so on and so on. But a lot of people panic and freak out because of that. Oh, hey, it's a lot of work. Yes, it is. But if you don't like it, too bad. You want something for free, it's going to cost you work. Free means this. If you want them to do the work for you, they're going to do it in the way they see fit. And they say, well, no, it's too close. We went in after 90 days, went online, got it incorporated, got it done with no problems. Right off the rip. Now, they waited 90 days and came back and said they couldn't do it because this, that, and that, da. So I'm going to tell you, LegalZoom is kind of like the OSHA. They're using the legality, the legal system to go ahead and use why they stall you, because they're trying to go ahead and whatever they're trying to do. And they'll use the excuse, well, blah, blah, blah. No, we got it done. And guess what? Show me what the problem was going to be. They can't show it. So I'm going to carry legal Zoom. If you hear this, I'm calling you out. Prove what you say is true, because it wasn't true with us. I still have the voicemail. I still have everything what they said. And you guys just are full of malarkey. They're like OSHA. OSHA has all general purpose ruling that covers them as well. All general purpose in OSHA means, hey, that's out of whack. That's not right. Now you blah, 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 which is, I understand. OSHA saves lives. So that's giving you comparison. So I'm not saying OSHA is bad. OSHA is really actually really good for all business to keep everything straight. But LegalZoom, I'm just telling you, don't use them. Don't use them. Because I saved all their messages and everything else, what they said and their emails and what they said about the company. So if they want to go ahead and say to me, go right ahead. I'll just go ahead and prove it and tell me they were wrong. And we record, and we got the company incorporated, and we haven't had any problems. This was last year. And so if they updated anything, well, they sure haven't notified the public. So I'm just telling you what we experienced. And that's what we experienced, and we kept everything. So if they ever want to come back and say, this is what I can keep saying what I'm saying, until they come back and tell me, no, we changed our ways, here's how we changed them. Until that's in writing, verbal's not going to count. All right, cool. Enough on LegalZoom now. Let's move on to the next thing. One thing you want to begin to deal with, you want to deal with people that have experience in depth. So when the storm comes up, they don't panic, so you don't panic. Most people panic because someone else panics. Like I said, there's power in the storm in the midst of chaos. When you can be the calm one in the chaos and just keep going and realize the person that's in the storm and is the one that's going to go ahead and lose things. So you're looking for a business with depth. You're looking for people with depth. What's the line of defense? Do you understand really what a tax ID is? Some of you can say, oh, yeah, I know what a tax ID is. A tax ID is, it's for the business. You get this and that, and ha. Okay, that's fine and dandy. But let me ask you, what's the real power behind it? Behind the tax ID, what does it do for you? What does it do for the division? What does it do for your parent company? Is your parent company protected by your division having a tax ID? Is it really true? Go Google this, you Google animals out there. I love it. Google debt follows tax ID. Debt follows tax ID. And it follows tax ID like it's crazy. It follows debt like it's tax ID like crazy. See, as long as you're not doing anything that's wrong, which means this, don't get a tax ID if you plan on bamboozling somebody, because that's not going to work. That's not cool. Because some of you have done that and ruined a lot of stuff for people out there doing business, especially the small business people that really have never had no idea how to use it. And now they make it a little hard to do some things about it, but it still gets done. The thing is that you must remember, folks, if you're going to build business credit, it's not a microwavable flash in a pan overnight action. It's something that's going to take time. Something's going to go ahead and must be worked on. Most people are their ignorance is the one that actually stops them from moving in life. Well, I never heard of this. Well, I don't quite understand it. So they freeze. Well, let me ask you, do you think the first astronauts that walked on the moon understood what they're going to walk on? Now, I'm not going to get in the controversy for those who say, well, they didn't. I'm not going to, just don't go there for the moment, but just think about it. All right, let's go there now. So those of you might be the conspiracy theorists and say, hey, you know what? They never went to the moon. Well, think about it. If they never went to the moon and they designed all this stuff to make it look real, they still had to go through the process to make it look real, to make it look like it happened. They served up a product based on what they were able to do if they did that. I don't know. I have no proof. I'm just telling you, it still took something. You must remember, no matter where you go in life and who you're even working for, they all started somewhere. They all started inside fear. In fact, one of the things that we're really good at, because right now I'm consulting with a few other businesses right now during the day. That's why I'm not doing a lot of YouTube and Facebook during the day anymore, is because I got a couple of clients that I'm working with in their business. We're able to go in and see what's going on. And a lot of the owners do not want to change. No, 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 no. They want the lower echelon to make the transformation, but they don't want to make the transformation themselves, based especially on the thought process and the way business should be run and how it needs to be run. There should be is all from the past and not from a future that has no um, a future that has no design from the past. Because when you design your future from the past, you're gonna get more of it in the present moment. And you can say, "Oh, that sounds like a bunch of malarkey." Really? What's the old saying? What's the cliche? If you always do what you've always done, you'll always be where you've always been. That's one thing about us here. We do not sit idle. We do not let grass grow underneath our feet. We're here for you to make things happen. But one thing about this, if you're going to start small, expect that's what you're going to get, because that's the smallness of it. A lot of you are not going to go to college and expect to go ahead and pay a tuition that's not worthy of itself. You want to go to a big college? I don't care if you even go to like a college like UTEP. UTEP is not cheap, but it's less expensive compared to Princeton, Yale, Harvard, Georgetown, Columbia. All right. All those, or UCLA, USC. All right. Those are areas that when you go, you're going to pay. You're going to pay for your first semester. If you're going to go even to a junior college, it's not like it used to be. It's about half as it is of the first year of a regular college. You're either going to pay for your education or you're not. The education that you get from us produces a result that you'll have a choice in life to say, when something pops up, I want that. Some of you will have enough money even to get a franchise to go ahead and provide you at least, I'm going to say between $7,000 to $10,000 a month on the low end of a franchise. That's when you get done paying everybody. The time, and that even includes yourself paying yourself. The net's about maybe 8 to 10 grand a month, depending. Now, you want a franchise? Some of you, it's going to cost anywhere between 2.5, all the way to like almost 2 to 5. Not 5. About $3 million, and that's the real high end of it. So you're talking anywhere from $250,000 to $2.5 million. Well, let me ask you: when you invest like that, when you actually do for a McDonald's, do you think for a moment that when McDonald's takes you on, they're going to take you on hoping and wishing they can go ahead and provide the McDonald's location for you? I'm afraid not. They're taking you on based on the money you give them, and they're also basing the success based on you do not change a thing. You must follow the directions. A lot of you do not follow directions when you pay such a great amount of money for the greatest product. The product, even the great products, some of the other people in the business building world that are really legit, you guys don't follow the directions. You want to do your own thing. You want to go awry and say, well, it's not working. Well, are you following the directions? We don't. We're in this process when you work with us, and depending on the level you follow with us and what level you join, the higher level that you join in the educational part of it is the more challenging it becomes. Because the fact is that now there's going to be stuff required of you to stretch not only yourself mentally and emotionally and socially, but this way to stretch yourself is that you haven't stretched your mind to be a mindset that you are not only just $1 million organization or an enterprise, you're $1 million person that has $1 million worth of assets to go ahead and fund your project because you have the money in business credit. I don't care if you have $1 million in your pocket or $1 million in business credit, you can go get the same thing. So a lot of you, when you join us, we're kind of in the beginning, we're a little soft, and then all of a sudden, as we shift on you, because we're not going to go ahead and take your little whining. I'm sorry, I would call it like it is. You can't afford to whine. You can't afford to whine. If you don't have the credit cards you have because you say, I don't want to do this, I can't do this. There's no I can't. If you really want the money, you really want to, some people say they want a yacht. They want kind of cars. They want, a home. You can get homes. Some of you can buy homes and actually use the company money to buy, flip, buy, hold, buy, sell, buy, rent, buy, lease, whatever you want to do. But a lot of you don't understand is that what you're doing now is that you have things in this world that make a huge difference, that people are here today are no longer sitting in that environment of wishing and hoping. They're now looking and creating and designing and generating. They're not hoping anymore. That's gone out the window. When they hope in a different arena, knowing that it's going to happen. They're creating the opportunities because they're able to talk to other people. They're not being a loner. Some of you are loners out there. I'm going to do it on my own. I hate to tell you, nobody on this planet has ever done anything on their own. It's like this. I was once told a story, and this is kind of a little religious story, but they said, hey, you know what? God, I'm going to make my own thing. I'm going to do my own thing. In fact, I'm going to make my own person. God said, okay, no problem. You do that. Then the guy went to go ahead and pick up some dirt, and God said, that's my dirt. You get your own. You can't create your own dirt. So I just want to let you know is a lot of stuff that we have out there is that you are the one that's making all the things that work in this situation. And what you have, you're not going to do it by yourself. What you're going to do is that's why it's so important to get around people that have the same mindset. That's what's so nice about the mastermind arena, because they've all been through the pain, they all been through the growth, they all realize what happens when you don't follow through. When you don't follow through, you're only hurting your family. You're hurting your dream. You're hurting what you're looking for. When you actually go through the process and it's like this. When you go through I can tell you the beginning and I can tell you the end. I cannot give you the experience of the middle. And the middle is where all the juice is. The middle is where the power lies. The middle is when I'm going to tell you, men, I've had some men call me crying. They get confronted. Their ego gets confronted. Their identity of who they think they are gets confronted. I've had guys that are making over $100 million a year call me crying and saying, I'm really stuck, but I just don't want to admit it. And that's fine with me because I get it. I so get it. And it's okay. And once they actually say it and talk to someone that actually can listen to it, and there's no judgment and assessment and opinion on my side, they go, man, wow, this is so awesome. And then they get freed up. And then they're like a rocket charge, super duper. So I just want to let you know, it doesn't matter where you're going in life, but the beginning is usually the exciting part. Then you got to start building. That turns into, okay, a little process, a little slower. Then the end is what you're looking for, but you're not willing. See, one thing that's happened in society in the last 20 years, I'm going to even say 20 is being nice. But in the last 20 years, society has changed everything over to microwavable, no experience. I can get it done right now. And this is why a lot of people aren't able to withstand the storm, because they never went through the trial and tribulation of building an organization when they got in the middle of it and they had to go through it. But you got to have a coach to go through it. I have coaches too that go, hey, no, this is why I have clients of this, blah, 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 blah. And they say, good. So now what you're going to do with them? I said, well, they just don't fit. Then tell them they don't fit and refund them and just tell them they don't fit and then refund whatever they use, whatever part they use and refund them that little piece left. Tell them it's just not going to happen here and give them 3 places to go. Or you call the other place and say, hey, look, you want to take this guy on? Here's what I have left. I'll give it to you, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's many things. And it's not that I don't care about people. Actually, I care a lot. That's what hurts the most. I care so much, I'd rather drag somebody with me through the mud and hope they get it. That's not fair to them. That's actually totally rude and mean. I never got that. People are not made out of glass. A lot of people treat you like you're made out of glass, and you're not. The fact is, you're a human being. I get you have emotions and you have feelings. I have compassion for those, but I don't have compassion, and I have the empathy for when you hit the wall. I remember the wall time. I remember trying to figure stuff out on my own. Then I finally had to go back after I'm all beat up, bruised, and spit off and booed off stage. I found, hey, okay, that's okay, great. Then it turned out to be a simple thing. All I have to do is, number 1, okay, I'm stuck here. Number 2, okay, great. Number 3, they did a live conference call with lenders, da-da-da. That's it. That's all I had to say. That's it. That's all you have to say. And some of it was real simple. They just would tell them, I don't know. Help me out. So what I just want to let you folks know, one thing about corporatecreditblueprints.com, corporatecredit-blueprints.com, info@corporatecreditblueprints.com, info@corporatecreditblueprints.com. The phone number is 888-471-8252, extension 2001. Again, that's
471 4252 extension 2001. See, what I want to let you know is this. We're here for you, but are you here for yourself? See, a lot of you want us to prove it works. I hear that all the time. When I say all the time, at least 5 times a day by the calls I get. And a real straight question, I said, let me ask you, do you really want me to prove this works to you? And a lot of them say, well, not really, but now, you know, when they say but, what that means, that just negates everything you just said. And that's the truth when someone says but right after that. Now, it's different if they put and. They say, well, but da, 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 da. I said, great. So you want us to prove it. So this is the wrong place for you. We don't prove anything. There's nothing to prove. We just do it. We get the action. We get going. Either you're going to do it. And some of you, I'm sorry that you've been burnt. I know you've been burnt. I was burnt. I've been burnt too. In fact, even last year, I got burnt 4 times, and they're still online, these guys. But here's the thing. The reason why I check these companies out, because I want to see really what they're teaching, and some they ain't not teaching a thing. Now, I could put them on blast, but you know, what do you say? I don't think it's really, the ones that actually did not follow through, even I've talked to some of my affluent friends is, you know what? Don't waste your energy on that. The reason why and plus I get to write it off, so I don't mind spending it. I don't mind getting, people say, oh, you don't have no idea, really? This is the reason why I go on YouTube and spend all this money to go ahead and, when I say all this money, I spend a pretty good amount of money buying these things from them to see what they're saying. And I'm going to tell you, out of the last 100 of them, buying different products, what they have and this and that, all of them have the same thing, just worded differently. That's it. It's all the basic stuff. That's why I tell you that a lot of them do not talk about line of defense. They talk about getting you into debt and not how to get you out of debt once you get into debt. You're going to have to sometimes hold on to your horses because when you do, like the power trade lines, the millionaire trade lines, all these things are different. Yet, when you hold on and follow the process, all of a sudden you start getting, oh, I got this, I got that going on. Here's a beautiful thing. Along the road, we'll get your money approved. No, like MasterCards. We can get your MasterCards approved on some of your stuff for 30-day nets. But why do you want those? It's only when you know you have short stuff to do. So that's why I say you really want to be careful when you get involved with some of those things. Also, another thing I want to let you guys know is this. For the military people out there, I want to say thank you for serving this country. Thank you most of all of you that have served your country way back to Vietnam, way back to World War II, and for what you've done all the way to current time, to Afghanistan, to all the current time till now. Some of you that, whatever your MOS is, I appreciate what you've done. I appreciate you that have gone from the regular military to the black ops, and some of you have gone to the rabbit ops, and the other ones I'm talking about, which you know. I want to say thank you for that, because no one ever knows that you've done a lot to protect this country. When I say country, you've done a lot to protect the country that's incorporated, that allows you to do business the way you do business out there. So you're like the henchmen that take care of us, so we have the freedom here in this country to go ahead and move and perform and able to go ahead and do business. For the military, you understand what I'm saying. Also the Army, Navy, the Marines, you all know what I'm talking about. You all have your particular specialties. But most of all, the guys have gone in there, they've been exposed to a lot of killing, explosions, seeing their friend next to them, all the stuff that happened to them. I get it. I understand. I just want to let you know, we're here for you. And if you want to incorporate, there's a lot of great stuff for you military people to go ahead, and they have a lot of benefits for you inside of owning an organization and an enterprise to get you started, because that's you've earned it. You not only earned it, you deserve it. You deserve to have the best. So I want to thank you for giving me your best. Thank you for whatever you've gone through, whatever mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually you've gone through. I want to say, God be with you, and you will make it through. Because here's one thing I know about anybody who's been in the military. You're strong, You have it, and you have strong support system out there. Use the support system. Use the support system. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, that has served this country. And most of all, God bless you. God bless America. And I want to say, you folks have a good evening. And tomorrow's Memorial Day. You see someone wearing a hat, just go up to them and shake their hand and say, thank you for protecting our country and thank you for serving, and just move on. I just want to say good night, and we'll see you on Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. God bless you all. Have a good evening.